Hello and welcome to Planets of the Future's first episode. Yay! I'm here around, I don't know, 5.5 billion years into the future, where humanity has possibly colonized Mars, Venus, Europa, and maybe even some of the other moons. Although I'm not here to gawk at the advancements of humanity. Let's redirect our attention to the center of the solar system we all know and love somewhat. The sun, and also please send help. I am being literally roasted alive by the sun, but that is fine. This is definitely fine. But now we also need to go back to the present. So, I bet you're thinking, Nautica, why are we going back to the present? You were just in the future. Why are you going back to the present? We could get the video over and done with. Well, I hear you, but we also need to discuss what's happening in the present time before we can discuss what's happening in the future. Or else you might not understand what's happening in the future based on events. Hence, the sequence of events, yeah. So let's go back to the present now. In the present, the sun is pretty big. Center of the solar system. Looks yellow from Earth, but is actually white. Right, because it produces all spectrums of light. It looks different colors on different planets, but Mercury is really the only planet that you can actually see the true color of the sun on because of its lack of atmosphere. You get the deal. It supplies light for photosynthesis and generally all life on Earth. It also is a stable gravitational anchor that keeps all the planets in orbit. Although the sun is losing some of its mass, it is not much at the moment, and nothing to really be concerned about at the moment as well. But do keep in mind that it is losing mass for future in the video. And also, gas giant corner. I just pointed that out because I thought it was cute. So, let's go farther into the future now. In the future, humanity might have planetary and lunar colonies on Mars, Venus, and some of Saturn and Jupiter's moons. Earth's continents might have also merged back into one supercontinent we've been calling in the present Pangaea Proxima or Proxima Pangaea. It's the same thing. You can call it either way. Although none of that is shown on the current model/drawing because it's not really important right now. The sun will keep on expanding and losing more mass rapidly, growing larger. The sun's expansion will inch slowly closer and closer to Mercury's orbit. And as you can see, Mercury's kind of getting a little bit uncomfortable. And honestly, it's not very unreasonable to be uncomfortable with this. So let's see what happens to Mercury and some of the other terrestrial planets. And Mercury has been destroyed. So let's talk about the destruction of some of the terrestrial planets. Mercury and Venus eventually succumb to the rapidly growing sun. Mercury first. It is the first planet to the sun. Venus will be next, very soon after Mercury collapses inside of the sun, unable to take the immense heat and pressure. Also, by this time, Earth will have lost most, if not all, of its life. Also, if you see a ring around Mars, don't worry, that will be discussed in another video. For now, we will focus on Earth. Soon after that, Earth will succumb to the sun as well, along with the moon. Mars will be the last remaining terrestrial planet out of the four. Although Earth might survive if its orbit expands outward, it will not be able to support life anymore, though. But for the sake of this video and my wrist, let's keep Earth and the moon destroyed. And also, let's say hello to a new star. Once the sun sheds its outer layers, it will become a new type of star. This is called a white dwarf star. Basically, it's the remains of a star's core. It loses some of its mass, but keeps the majority of it. White dwarfs live long, longer than most stars that have not exploded or dissipated yet. although at the end of its life, it will turn into a hypothetical interstellar object known as a black dwarf. A white dwarf that burnt out all of its reserves and finally stopped shining. We don't have to worry about that for now, though. Although, I also want to say a quick word before we continue the video. I want to make it clear that before we go any further, no, the sun will not go supernova, like some stars will. Why? Well, the sun is way too small to produce enough energy to go out with a bang. It won't go out dramatically like the larger stars, but I don't think that's a problem. Because we all love the sun the way it is. Well, at least I do. Now, back to the depressing white dwarf stuff. So, this is the aftermath of the solar system. Ignore the ice giants for a little bit. We're finally here. The majority of the planets and moons will stay in orbit. Some asteroids and smaller moons may be destroyed, but majorly the solar system will function as normal. Although somewhere down the line, the ice giants, or at least Neptune, might get ejected due to the lesser amount of mass holding all the planets in orbit, and due to them being so much farther away than every other planet. All in all, it will stay relatively the same for the years to come. And as the other episode, I have some ending notes. Although this is quite sad, it is inevitable. That's just a star like our sun's life cycle. They start out small, and they gradually grow bigger. And then they enter their red giant phase. They dissipate into a planetary nebula, and then they become white dwarfs. And down the line, a lot down the line, they become black dwarfs. So, yeah, this will happen to the majority of stars like our sun in our universe. So, just that to keep in mind. But also, I'd like to introduce you to two little someones who were helping me hold that. This is Ghost and Shade. Two little planets that I created. The lighter one is Ghost and the darker one is Shade. You'll be seeing them helping me with demonstrations and holding things throughout other videos, so I hope you like seeing their cute little presences. And also get used to it, because I am not going to take them out. Well, that's the end. Thanks for watching. Remember the line, I will not spoon feed you, do your own research. Like I did with the last one, I will put resources down below in the description if you want to go more into depth of the red giant phase of stars, and also just the general life cycle of stars. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you in my random episode series.